We created a Ruby Goldberg machine, and the theme of our machine was the Fast and the Furious, because the components of our machine go by very quickly, and the theme fit well with our team's name, Death Proof. We designed our machine so that it had a lot of objects moving quickly along various ramps and surfaces, just like the cars in the movie. The first subgroup was Chloe and Caleb. They first created the first part of their machine, initiating it by covering a photoresistor, which then turned on a fan. The wind generated by the fan pushes a ball and causes it to roll down a tape measure, and then hit a line of dominoes at the bottom of the makeshift ramp. The last domino hits a pen, which slides down a tube and hits the call button on Chloe's phone. The second group was Ruby and Johnny. Ruby received Chloe's call, causing her phone to light to flash. A photoresistor sensed the flash from her phone, causing a servo arm to move and push a ball down a ramp. The ball hits a line of game covers set up like dominoes at the bottom of the ramp, and the last game cover has a protruding pen tip attached to it so that when the last game cover falls, the pen tip lands on a mouse, causing it to left-click and send an email to Layla, triggering hers and Mallory's section. The email notification turns on Layla's phone screen, thus triggering a photoresistor that causes a servo arm to rotate. This arm has a pencil attached to it so that when the arm rotates, the pencil moves and hits a ball, knocking it off a table, so it hits the click button on a mouse. The mouse's cursor is set on the send email button, so that it sends an email to Omer, which activates his and Andrew's set of steps. When Omer's phone receives the email, his phone screen will turn on and trigger a photoresistor. This will then cause his servo arm to rotate and hit a roll of tape. This roll of tape then rolls down the ramp, hitting a set of books acting as dominoes at the bottom of the ramp. The books continue to get knocked over, with the last one hitting a seesaw. The seesaw has a ball situated on the opposite side, so that when the last book lands on it, the weight of the book pushes the other side of the seesaw upwards, launching the ball into a hoop. The overall product performed well. We ran into a few issues trying to run the whole thing at once, but we ultimately got the entire Ruby Goldberg machine to work in tandem with one another. We additionally ran into some issues with the servo arm, as the photoresistors were extremely sensitive to light and shadow, and the servo arms were too weak to push anything heavier than a certain weight. We were able to overcome light sensitivity by modifying the code so that it took in a certain voltage range, and overcame the servo arm weakness by pushing lighter objects so that they ultimately push heavier objects or objects that required a larger amount of force. Finally, for some of the steps, such as the ball rolling off the table to hit a mouse, there was very little room for error, so we had to make sure that everything was properly situated in a way so that it all worked on the first try. This was another challenge that we had to overcome when implementing our final design.
We in the high speed, 1-6, always the reason never could achieve. Battle for position, better watch your step, because this one falls smooth and it's life or death.